Hi, my name is David Wetzel. I was born and raised in the hills of West Virginia, where I grew up hunting and fishing with my father. I'm proud to say that I've been friends with the Goodman family for almost 30 years now. They've asked me to share some of my wild game recipes so they can post it on their website. So stay tuned. I will try to get as many as I can over a short period of time of some interesting recipes that I have come up with over the years.
One of the things I've tried to accomplish over the years is using every part of the bear. For many years, the rib meat and the brisket and the flank, we simply just didn't use it for other than just grinding up. So one year I decided, since the bear is related to the pig, why couldn't we use this portion in here to make bacon, which I named Bearcon. This recipe is going to show you some of the different ways to make it. The main ingredient in the Bearcon is, of course, the bear meat. Here I am thawing out some bacon cuts off of the bear, the ribs, the flank, from a couple years worth of hunting. I'm also including in here some shanks, which I will make ham hocks / bear hocks in a later recipe. Okay, on our next step of making our Bearcon, I have thawed out all the rib meat and flank from the bears I had from last year and this year, plus some that was left over, and it's sitting inside this cooler right now. I like to use these Homer buckets, keep them food grade, but you can see inside there's some of the meat that I've washed, cleaned up all the hair off of it, and now I'm going to start just cleaning it up with a knife, taking dried freeze burn spots off of it, and then we'll go into mixing the cures. Okay, I've finished trimming the first bucket of meat, but you can see I've just cleaned it up. Any freezer dried spots I've taken off of it. I've trimmed a little bit of the fat off too. Of course, bacon, you've got to have a lot of fat on it. So I'll start on my second one and keep you posted. If you don't have the facilities to hang your Bearcon to cure, you can also do it on a grate from a stove or any other kind of drying rack, and just apply the seasoning and let it soak in and set overnight on one side, and then the next day you can flip it over and do the other side. So what I'm doing now is applying the second coat of the brown sugar salt mix. I'll put it back in the cooler, and then tomorrow I'll flip it and do the other side. Okay, I've finished rubbing down 1/4 of all the bacon I had with the salt and sugar rub that I made, and I'm going to dry it here for about 5 to 7 days. And as you can see on the floor, it's starting to pull the moisture out already. So now I'll go and make up the brines for the other 3 different types of bacon that I'm going to be making. Okay, these are the curing brines powder that I get from the sausage maker, and I don't know if you can see that very well, but this one is a maple ham cure, and then we have the brown sugar ham cure and a honey ham cure. I'm going to mix, per the instructions, about a pound of each one into about 1.5 gallons of water. Make sure that the bacon is submerged in the water when we get done, and then we will put them in a cooler again for about 5 to 7 days while they cure. Okay, we've got the brine made up, mixed, and got the meat in it. We're going to make sure that it's covered with the brine. We're going to put lids on them and set them in a walk-in cooler. We'll come up and stir these every day just to make sure that it gets evenly brined in there. Okay, sports fans, a couple days ago I said I was going to try to get me a deer to used for the summer sausage, and I killed a doe that night in Ohio. I'll go out today, maybe venture over to West Virginia on the lease I have and see if I can't add some more meat. This bacon, or Bearcon as I call it, has been hanging for a couple days now. I'm going to dust it again with the 1/4 salt, 3/4 brown sugar cure. Here's the other Bearcon that's been brining in the sausagemaker.com brines that I used. And as you can see, I went in and added some of the ham hocks that we'll be smoking for making bean soup or whatever else you would like to cook smoked ham hocks in. Okay fans, and you know who you are, Julie and Steve. After 5 days of brining and of course the salt and sugar cures, I'm going to let the brined Bearcon hang overnight, and then I'll start the smoking process tomorrow. It's been 4 days on curing the whitetail, and while I didn't get to add to that last night, I did see a really nice 8-point and passed on a doe, and so hopefully tonight I could add a nice big Ohio buck to the meat cooler. Tomorrow I'll be taking this all down, we'll smoke it, and then hopefully in a couple days we can fry up a couple pieces and enjoy the fruits of our labor. Okay, here we are ready to smoke. It's been about 6 days now of curing. Got some coals going, and here I have some applewood chunks that I've been soaking in water. So what I'm going to do is just lay some of these onto the hot coals. That'll produce my smoke here in a little bit. And while this is starting to dry up, okay, we have our Bearcon that's been brining, or this one is the one that uses the salt and the brown sugar that I'm putting on the indirect heat smoker. In here I've got some apple chips and charcoal. As soon as I shut it down, the flames will stop, and I'm going to put a smoke on this for about 3 or 4 hours. Okay, here's another setup I have. This is my Outhouse Smoker. No, it wasn't really an outhouse, but you'll see in here we're using the pan. This one's got hickory sawdust in it, and I'll be putting that diffuser over top of it. These coals have been going for about 2 hours, so I'm going to add some additional charcoal and some more wood chips, and then shut her up and let her go again. On this smoker I'm running around 200 degrees on an indirect heat. I'm going to rearrange the bacon now after a couple hours and get some of it closer to the fire and move some of it away. Alright, we've got our new coals on. I flipped the bacon, and you can see she's going to lay down another good layer of smoke for the next hour or so. This is my Outhouse Smoker. It uses a lower heat setting, and it takes a little bit longer to smoke. I don't know if you can see that, but the temperature on this one is about 120 degrees. In this smoker I just use a small propane burner, cast iron skillet, and I've got hickory sawdust in it. Okay, I got the bacon hanging. This is the ones that we cured in the brine, and then the hocks or shanks are on a tray below it. And there's my heat source, a propane burner, cast iron skillet, and sawdust, hickory sawdust, grip pans on top. These have been on the smoker for about 3 hours now. I'm going to just let the charcoal go ahead and die out. I put enough smoke on them. Should be done here about an hour, so about 4 to 5 hours total smoke time. Don't want to overcook them. As you can see on the low heat one, they're not near as smoked yet, so I'm going to go ahead and add more sawdust and continue to smoke for a couple more hours. Okay, here's the finished bear shanks that I smoked yesterday. They've been brining for about a week now. You can cut these through the bone with a saw, or just take the meat off the bone, or leave them whole if you want.
I like using the bear shanks in a pot of soup beans or chili, but you can use it for anything that you'd put a pork shank in.
And there you have it. I've deboned one of them. Like I said, you can cut them with a bandsaw, debone them, chunk them up, use them in whatever soup or stew you want. Here you have the sliced bacon. There's some I'm going to brown up for you right now. These are bacon ends and pieces we'll save for later. If you're looking for a good meat slicer commercial, Vantco is the company. $400 does an excellent job compared to the more expensive commercial ones. Now frying up some fresh, thinly sliced Bearcon. I wish it was here to smell it. And there you have it. No preservatives, no growth hormones, just fat Canadian bear bacon or Bearcon.